I've been meaning to make a YouTube video about... I can already tell the way I just said that. This is going to be the start of the YouTube video. Thinking about making a YouTube video, and then I'm going to do the YouTube video. 5 things you can do with Hugo for the 8 other Hugo players. The Hammer Frenzy knockdown is also better than the 720 knockdown. You have a lot more time. Against Dudley, you have the least amount of time. He gets up the fastest after Hammer Frenzy. And you can't quick tech out of supers, or at least you can't do it out of Hammer Frenzy. So this knockdown's always going to be the same. Which is plus 45, I think. Yeah, it's plus 45. So against Dudley, I think it works if I do this. You can get a delay splash. He can't jet up or this. It's actually a safe jump. So the reason why that's important is, I think Hammer Frenzy is, you need to play it against Dudley. Because you can't, same problem as Makoto earlier, you can't really compete with his normals. You have to like preemptively hit things. Unless he does like a forward heavy punch or heavy punch that's really, that just whiffs in front of you. Then you can medium punch it, but who cares? But if you parry it, the light punch works. And that means you get Hammer Frenzy. So if it gets them near the corner, you're going to be able to get some pressure with the jump. And Dudley is the worst case scenario in terms of the knockdowns. And just other stuff, like if you parry his crouching heavy kick, with this super you can actually make it hurt. Whereas if you have 720, it's not going to reach, it's too far. Number 2 was against Elena. This matchup was really annoying. A really good strategy against Hugo is to be really defensive and just poke, build your meter. And Elena has healing. So on top of being really annoying with pokes, she can just heal when you actually do hit her. So it's a really unfun way to play the game for Hugo for sure. But there are some things you can do, like her slide specifically. You can't really react to this. Maybe at like the tip, maybe you can see it. But what you can do is in the mid-range, you can just get a feeling for when she might do it. And be outside of the range of her overheads. So if they actually do it, you get 3. You get a triple clap punish as long as you're a little bit closer than that. And then you win the game. It's really good. Man, look at her stun. You kill her on the next attack. If the next thing you do works, it's gonna stun her and you win. So that's a really big edge. So you can at least take away one tool. Well, not really take it away, but punish it in a big way. And you would be surprised. Atlanta players do the slide a lot because it's hard to punish. Alright. Number 3 is against Oro. Oro, matchup's really bad because he can do unblockables. If you're just in the corner and he throws the booger down, he just goes behind you and it's an unblockable. It's really stupid. But this matchup is not... I mean, all the Hugo's matchups are pretty bad, but one thing that helps a lot is actually being able to taunt against Oro. And for some reason, Oro has the longest knockdown. When you hit him with crouching medium kick, he is on the ground the longest out of anybody. So it's plus 48. So you can do what I showed before with the EX Lariat. You can actually get close to him and have advantage. It's not the, it's not the coolest thing in the world, but it does work. Same thing with Backbreaker, that should also work. If you do negative edge Lariat, you'll have advantage and be close. It's actually pretty good, plus 18. But usually, spending the meter is a pretty big gamble. Because it's hard to know what they're going to do next, especially when pretty much no other Hugo player does this. So they might wake up a throw, they might do an uppercut. I don't know what people are going to do when they see this. But what's cool about Oro, since he has such a long knockdown, you can taunt after it. And it's really hard for him to punish. You're minus 17. So you get 4 taunts with Hugo, you have the most defensive buff you can get. So especially earlier in the rounds when you have a lot of health, that contributes, the defense contributes more. So number 4 against Alex. A lot of Alex players, they'll just jump heavy punch because it hits you crouching really easily. So you have to block it high, and he lands with advantage. He does the overhead, does a command grab, he does a low, he jumps again. It's hard to deal with this because you don't really have a good anti-air for it. If you backbreaker and he does it early enough, you're just gonna get hit out of the backbreaker. Oop. And a hit, you're gonna get hit so hard it brings you back to character select. So it's very common. You'll see Alex players do this in the corner because it's good. But if you actually lariat them, you get the side switch. It's really, really good. And I believe this also works well against Yuan, like Yuan's jump heavy kick, which is also really good. Because maybe you backbreaker this, it's alright. but you're kind of just back to where you started. If you do a lariat, I think even the light ones work. That's a side switch. That's a good knockdown. It's yeah, decent stun, decent damage. It's way better. A lot of like, this is what I would do back in the day, all the time. It's okay, but it's just not good enough. There's better things. Okay, and last is against Necro. Necro has heavy kick and heavy punch. These moves, I would say offline, they're reactable. Online, you just kind of gotta guess. But if you do get a parry on these in neutral, you can punish them with EX Lariat and with Hammer Frenzy. So let's see if I can react to it. Let's see if I can do it live. I'm gonna look away from the timer just so no funny business happens. This move is 15 frame startup. Let's see if I can actually react to it. There we go. And I believe his heavy kick is even slower. But if you're just at this range, there's not much else Necro can do to you. It's either heavy punch, heavy kick, down heavy punch. I think the range is not even that great, right? Or is it? Yeah, that one. And I don't remember. I don't think this is a low. I totally forgot. But that's pretty much it. So heavy kick, same thing. This is really important. It's really hard to get close to Necro, so just having something that helps you close the gap is really good. What are the fastest hitboxes on crouching characters? Fattest hitboxes? I think it's Dudley.